Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you for always stopping by, always watching all of our content. We don't take you for granted. We appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. So whenever we drop new videos, you'll be notified. Make sure you like, share with your family and friends, and also engage us in the comment section. And we have an interesting topic we want to discuss. It's about truly fixing the root cause of our problems in Nigeria. And if you really think about it, it all boils down to patriotism. A lot of people, I mean, including myself too, I don't think I'm patriotic enough. And in all these developed countries that we visit and we live in, we see that a lot of people that made the countries what they are today. They are very patriotic. They believe in the set of rules. They believe in law and order. They believe on the idea of being patriotic and also using that avenue to fix their countries into what they are today. And we're looking at it, what needs to happen to make an average Nigerian a patriot? If you think about it, in our country, we are saddled with a lot of challenges. And it all boils down to NIMBY. They call it NIMBY, not in my backyard. And it basically means if I'm not affected by this, I don't have to worry about it. If I'm not affected by a particular situation, if it's not taking money out of my account, if it's not negatively impacting me or my family members, then I don't have the business of fixing it. It's not my responsibility to fix it. Even though you can lend a voice, even though you can take an action to make the thing work, but because you're okay, because it's not negatively affecting you, you don't see it as a problem. In most places, in most developed countries, you see a lot of people standing up for what's right. And I'll use America as an example. Back in the days, I usually say this, black people couldn't vote, women couldn't vote. A lot of people stood together, made it happen. And a lot of people that also stood together in conjunction with other minority groups to make it happen were not the people of color. They were privileged people that were in the position of power to make it happen, and they lent their voices and their counterparts up and made all the changes happen. So if you to fix our country, if you want to fix our country, we need to really think about what needs to happen to make an average Nigerian a patriot.
Yeah, you said it all. And I think one of the many things Nigerian government can do to make the citizens patriotic is, tackling the issue of corruption. And then, well, I will let me say to tackling corruption and then allowing the institutions to work. I think these two things are, key. There will probably be so many others, but I think these two things are the major things that needs to be in place. The citizen needs to see that when things go wrong, people are being held to account, held accountable, and then they don't just sweep it under the rug. The richest person do not buy, or the people that are well off, they do not end up buying, judgment, or buying judges, ensuring that, politicians are not trying to, cow the judges. We see what Wike is doing, houses for judges, building, judges, cars and stuff like that. So by so doing, what he's trying to do, or what he's been doing, is trying to influence the decisions of the court, because if somebody do you a favor, you can't tell me that if they bring a case to your court that you're gonna swing the other way. It's definitely gonna swing in their favor. So I think allowing the institutions to work, and the corruption, making sure that people are being brought to book. If somebody do something, if there is allegation of misappropriation, or stealing public funds and stuff like that, somebody is circumventing the law to probably favor his cronies or his family members. I think people should be taken to court and let the court process play out, and then ensure that people get justice for whatever is done. Look at the case of Fayoshe. 7 years ago, he was accused of embezzling billions of naira, and today he said he got a judgment and he's been acquitted. they find no case against him. So those things are capable of discouraging people. When people see all these things, they do not see the reason to see themselves as stakeholders and see any reason to be patriotic because they feel like there is no place for them and the country, they don't have a place in the country. So I think that these two things, allowing the institutions to work and then tackling corruption and make sure that I'm not saying we can eradicate corruption 100%, but making sure that we are putting conscious effort towards trying to nip it or eliminating it or just showing that we actually fighting corruption and making sure that people are actually found guilty and being put to jail and they do their time.
Yes, I definitely agree with that assertion. It's really important that we change the system. The systemic change is needed when it comes to tackling corruption, when it comes to holding people accountable, holding the leaders accountable that have been found wanting, whether allegedly or whether it's been proven in the court system. We need to go back to being able to trust the system, especially the justice system. We know there are two tiers of justice system for people in our country. If you're rich, you can get away with a lot of things. If you're poor, you get a judgment against you that will not fit the crime. Case in point about that man that was put in jail for buying a stolen generator. He was locked up for 26 years. His good part of his life was taken away from him. It was because of the injustice and the unfairness in the legal system. So definitely agree with you. You need a systemic change, and it's gonna start from our constitution. It's gonna start from electoral uh, reform. It's gonna start from the court, and then people can start to change their own view, their own mindset about the things going on in the country. And one thing I want to say is individual change needs to happen. Change needs to happen from the bottom up. It needs to happen from the bottom up. If everyone is holding each other accountable, if they're holding themselves accountable, it's gonna lead to us living in a better society. People won't be robbing each other. People won't be kidnapping each other. People won't be stealing from each other and locking each other up unnecessarily, especially if you have the means, right? So it'll come to holding ourselves accountable. It'll come to making sure that you're gonna ensure that the change you're looking for starts with you. It means not giving bribes. It means not requesting bribes. It means not even accepting it, right? If the law says you're supposed to have this document, and if you don't have the document, regardless of who the boss is, regardless of who the offender knows, regardless of the hierarchy in the society, they need to be held accountable. If you don't have a particular document, no matter who you are, go get a document. If the law of the country requires you to have a plate number, you need to get your vehicle registered. You need to get a plate number. You shouldn't go around driving without plate number because you're powerful, because you know somebody that knows somebody, or you have a friend or a brother in the seat of power. The law needs to apply to everybody. And this is what I mean when I say we need to hold ourselves accountable. If you know this is the law, don't go against the law. And that way, the people coming behind, the people that are saying it, will know that, hey, this man is a man of integrity. And they will continue to hold themselves accountable as well. When they see the leader doing the right thing, the follower want to do the right thing as well. So I believe it comes to individualism, it comes to holding each other accountable, it comes to making sure that the change starts from the bottom.
Yeah. Definitely, the people need to be held to account for whatever they do in while in office. Another thing that needs to happen is, I think the federal government need to review our constitution and get rid of federal character. I think that thing is weighing us down as a country. I think it doesn't allow them to recruit the best of the best. I think is almost similar to DEI here, but I think in Nigeria they take it to extreme. It doesn't allow them to recruit the best of the best. It just focuses on the numbers because this population is like this, is this number. So when you are hiring, you have to hire a certain number of these people just to meet federal character. I think they need to get rid of that and begin to hire people purely by merit. And that is another way that the country can move forward. When you continue to sideline people, when you continue to look the other way, I don't know about your experience, but I tried to get admission into ABU because my brother went to Ahmadu Bello University. I wasn't able to get it, but for the people, for the indigens, they have a remedial program. I think they call it, I can't remember they call it. I think it's pre-ND or something like that, but they call it remedial program in that school. It's only available to the people, or to the locals. It is not available to other people. So a lot of time they come from that background to get admission. They don't typically write jump to get into school. So I think those are some of the things that they need to get rid of. If we truly are one Nigeria, I think jump should have the same score requirement for everybody. If the cutoff or the number required to get admission into a federal university is 300, let it be 300 across the board. Say 300 for West, 280 for East, and 190 for North. That is really harming the country. I think they need to get rid of it vis-a-vis federal character. They need to get rid of all of those things because I think most jobs in Nigeria is actually government jobs anyway. So even in the military recruitment, even the police recruitment, and the Navy and the Air Force, they need to get rid of the federal character and allow the system to hire the best of the best, the most qualified, not because you are from Zamfara or you are from Delta State. Yeah, you need to have a representative. If you are not qualified, you are not qualified. They don't have to hire you because you are from Delta State or you are from Edo State. They need to get rid of that. And I think that's another way to give the citizens the reason to be patriotic to the country.
That's definitely correct. And it still boils down to that systemic change we talked about because the federal character, the quota system is part of the system, it's part of the constitution, it's part of the law, or even if it's not embedded in the law, it's like an imaginary thing that people take into account when they're making a decision. They need to get rid of the quota system in order to make sure we have the best candidate for the job. You have the best candidate for whatever position you're looking to hire, or maybe you're looking to admit students into a college. Then you make the requirement the same for every part of the country. And that will make each region or each state sit up and fix their educational system, fix everything that needs to be fixed for them to be well represented across the board. And that is very, very, very important. Like we said, systemic change is important. A mindset shift when it comes to individual needs to change as well. And also our culture needs to change. Our culture of rewarding mediocrity needs to change. We need to make sure that we have people that are best qualified for a position in the position of power. If we have mediocrity in a lot of places, we're not going to be able to move forward. And it's sad that when mediocrity is encouraged, we're going to get mediocre results. If you don't want to get any mediocre result, then we need to start looking to get rid of anything looking like mediocrity in us. So our people needs to be held accountable. Our leaders needs to be held accountable. The followers needs to determine that the change will come from bottom up. That way the change can hold. That way we can hold whoever is in the seat of power, we can hold them accountable and make sure that they're doing right by the people.
Yeah, these things, institutional reforms, vis-a-vis, fighting corruption, making sure that at least we are putting, enough effort to ensure that we reduce the corruption to almost to the barest minimum and allowing the institutions to work, getting rid of federal character. And I think another one that I will mention briefly is maybe intermarriage and getting rid of the state of origin. I think they need to get rid of that as well. So these are some of the things that the federal government could actively do to ensure that citizens they regain the trust of the citizens. And thank you for listening and then for supporting us. This is going to be an ongoing conversation. This is just going to be like 1.1. Maybe the next time will probably be 1.2. It's going to be an ongoing conversation. Definitely a lot that that they can do to, to convince the citizens or to make the citizens, be patriotic, to trust the system and have confidence in the system.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Engage us in the comment section. And have a good day. Thank you.
Bye bye.